Hello, my name is Jeff Dover, and I want to take a couple minutes today and to talk to you a little bit about accountability and responsibility. When we talk about lawsuits and injury lawsuits particularly, a lot of things we hear about is there's too many of them. The courts are filled with them. We hear about situations in other states and even in Georgia in the mid-2000s how we need to have caps on injury claims. And what is a cap? Basically, a cap is you cannot award more than this amount of money in an injury case or in a pain and suffering claim. For instance, in 2005, Georgia came up with a cap on pain and suffering in an injury case, and they said you could never award more than $350,000 with regards to pain and suffering. So if there was a situation where a doctor committed a negligent act or a negligent error, cut off the wrong arm or did surgery on the wrong leg, and serious injuries occurred, the most that you could award for pain and suffering would be $350,000. Now that has been overturned by our Georgia Supreme Court, so that doesn't exist anymore. But what I urge people to think about when I talk to them is who's going to be responsible for the injured person. For instance, if you're in a horrific car accident with minimal insurance, or if you're in a situation where you got bad medical care and you have a substantial injury, or if you have a cancer case that wasn't diagnosed appropriately and now you have long-term care that needs to take place, who's responsible? If the person who committed the negligent act, who drove their vehicle recklessly, the doctor who failed to run the proper test or handle the proper procedures in an appropriate way, then that person falls upon the state to be taken care of. Medicaid, Medicare, you, the taxpayer, really will end up bearing the burden of someone who doesn't take responsibility for their actions. So these injury lawsuits really aren't filling up the courts. They say that statistically that less than 2% of all cases in our Georgia courts have to do with injury claims. It's really about who should bear the burden, you the taxpayer in serious injuries or the person who committed the wrongful act. Thank you.